Hey Mama, Jocelyn here. We are doing postpartum right now. We are on week 8 postpartum, which is about 2 months postpartum. And my Friday episodes are more focused on pregnancy, but there is the after pregnancy part that is a huge adjustment as well. I'm wondering how far you guys are interested in learning about postpartum, because I did a week by week pregnancy and now so far I've done the first 8 weeks of postpartum. I'm wondering if you guys are interested in further or if you want me to go back to pregnancy and be talking about things with pregnancy. Let me know what you prefer. My email is positivityinpregnancy@gmail.com, positivityinpregnancy@gmail.com, and there's a link for it in the show notes. But let me know if you want further postpartum or if you're ready to move back to pregnancy. I would appreciate that. Let's jump into week 8 of postpartum. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, fellow mom of 5 and host of the Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I help pregnant women and mothers to find the positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps in thought and action without making drastic changes to their everyday mom life. And I can help you. Let's find positivity during our pregnancies and in our motherhood together. Thanks for joining. A lot of what I talk about baby, I've mentioned before. The first one is that baby is starting to coo, grunt, talk, maybe even humming, and talk back to your baby. This can actually help with language development. My first baby came 9 weeks early, and so they were worried about him reaching some of those developmental milestones. And one of the tips I read somewhere was just talk to your baby all the time. And I didn't talk to him all the time, but when we went on walks or when he was talking, I would try and talk back to him and just tell him like, oh, I see some leaves on that tree, or do you see that cloud over there? It kind of looks like a butterfly. And just immerse your baby with words when you can, maybe on walks, or when they're talking, just talk back, tell them what a cute baby they are and how much you love them. It can help with language development. So that's kind of cool. Cradle cap may still be a thing. There's natural creams, probably unnatural creams, all sorts of stuff you can use out there to help. I honestly would just use a baby brush and brush their hair. Don't do this on a nice set of clothes. Make sure it's pants you don't really care about, because if you brush them while they're laying on your lap like I did, you'll get a lot of dandruffy white flecks on your lap. And if you're doing it on the floor, do it like over a blanket or something that you can either shake out or wash. But that is something you may still be dealing with baby. They are starting to possibly even raise up on their forearms when they're on their bellies. And this is also important for their motor development and can help there. You also may want to have a pediatrician appointment for your 2-month-old. I'm mixed on this. My first baby was early and 9 weeks early, and I didn't really know what I was doing. And they made it sound like I needed to take him to all these appointments. So for that first year or 2 years, I took him to all these appointments. And I don't know what happened, or if it's just research or time, but my next baby, she did not come early. It was more of a textbook pregnancy and postpartum, and I think I did one baby checkup, and then I just observed my babies. Like, if they were very sick and needed a doctor, we'd take them to the doctor, but I didn't need to go pay a doctor to tell me my kids were well. So we didn't really do that as much unless my kids were sick. So anyways, take that for what it's worth. Some of you may like that tip and some of you may not, but But it has worked for me and my family thus far. And I do think if you have like a premature baby, it might be good to have them checked on a little bit more. But you don't have to. It's not a requirement to see doctors. And that's really nice. One thing I read about in my research was that the baby, like if you're wanting to do bottle, they can do that without nipple confusion. And so this might be a good time to introduce a bottle. For some babies, it may be too late and they will only want the breast. I've mentioned that before, how I did not introduce a bottle early to my second baby, and she did not take a bottle or a binky. And so for my next 3 kids, I knew that I needed the option of the bottle. I did breastfeed all my kids for a year. And I did like the option of the bottle though. So they got 1 bottle feeding that was usually from just freezer breast milk. Unless I was out, then I would try formula. But formula just didn't sit very good with my baby's tummies. And so anyways, each baby is going to be a little bit different on whether or not they're going to be open to the bottle at this point, or if this is still just something that might be a little hard to implement. Usually around your 6-week appointment is when you get the go-ahead for intimacy, if it is okay to resume that. And I want to tell you that it is a whole new ball game when you have kids. And it is, there is like a whole course I could teach on figuring out how to get good at this after having children. Because for me, it was very difficult. My libido was way down, and even in the research I did for this episode, it said your libido may be way down. You may not have any interest with nursing. You just feel touched all the time, and it just can feel hard. And it's a definite mind game. And that is what I have found when it comes to intimacy. So some of you are going to be ready to be intimate right at the 6 weeks and you're ready to go. And some of you are going to be like, whoa, I don't know if I'm ready. This is all hard. This is a lot. Your mind might have even shifted on how you feel in that aspect. There's hormonal changes going on still that can affect your moods, and it can be very difficult. I want to tell you a few words that sometimes I just have to repeat to myself when I'm going through a hard season, when I'm trying to figure stuff out, when I feel like I'm not making progress and I would like to make progress, when I'm struggling. It's these 4 words: this too shall pass. You are not always going to be nursing your baby. Your baby will not always be this small. Your hormones are not always going to be fluctuating so crazily. This too shall pass. Those 4 words can be a comfort in this time. Now, nonetheless, you still have to deal with the moments you're in. You still have to be a wife. And so I'm going to give you a couple of tips to help with being a wife, but also realizing that even though this is a bumpy season, this is a bumpy transition in your marriage, this too shall pass. So one of the biggest ways to make this work is to have open communication. I am a huge, huge, huge fan of feeding your marriage. I think marriage is one of the most important institutions that we as women can join in. And when these babies come along, our motherly instincts take over. And we want to just play mama bear and take care of those babies and attend to their every beck and call. And this is good, but this can also drive a wedge in your marriage. And we don't want wedges in our marriage, because over time, that wedge will create a deeper and deeper hole and push you guys farther apart. And we don't want that. I don't want that. You don't want that. You want to feed and support your marriage. So the best way to do that first is with open communication. Tell him how you feel. Tell him some of your struggles and things you are dealing with and how you want to be this way, but it's hard because of what you're going through. So open communication. Also, this is a good and big tip, is that it doesn't always have to be like intimacy. There are other ways to satisfy your husband's needs. Talk about that and maybe implement some of those ways to help meet your husband's needs. They have needs as well, and we want to feed those needs and help them. Now I do want to say that there's times where it is too much. It is too hard, and you just want to cry about it and wonder where the old you went and why this is so hard and difficult. Mama, I get it. I have been there. I've not just been there once. I've been there many times. And sometimes you do just need those moments to cry and think those 4 words, this too shall pass. Other times you put some effort into it and you try to speak your husband's love language. You try to meet his needs in another way if it's not through sexual intercourse. But feeding your marriage is important. And as time goes on and as you work with your thoughts, you will be able to get better at this. I actually think I've done a few episodes in the past on intimacy in motherhood, like intimacy with your husband, but while being a mother, because it's a whole new ballgame. It's different, it's hard, and it takes a lot of thought work to realize that your marriage was the first thing, and that your babies, they're amazing, they're beautiful, and they are a product of your love. But eventually those babies will grow up and they will find their own marriage. And then you will be left with your marriage, and you want that marriage to be good, to be something that you want to enjoy together when your babies are all grown up and leaving the nest. I'll see if I can link a couple of those episodes I have done more in depth on this topic. But feeding your marriage is important, and I encourage it. So I am cheering for you, Mama. I want you to find confidence in your motherhood. I want you to find happiness. And I need to be better at mentioning this more, but a lot of ways we can do that too is through God. God helping lead us to people that we need, that can help us find the ways to get better at motherhood, to get better at marriage, and to find more happiness in these seasons. We will chat again next week. Again, let me know if you want more postpartum or if 8 weeks is enough. Please, my email is positivityinpregnancy@gmail.com, positivityinpregnancy@gmail.com, and the email is in the show notes. I'll move it to the top so that you can find it, and keep up the good work. Keep trying. This is a hard season, but there are some beautiful moments, and enjoy those moments. And in the hard ones, remember, this too shall pass. Thank you for being a part of the Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast, for listening, for sharing, and most of all, for applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts and becoming the mother that you desire to be through taking small steps in thought and action to reach your goals. If you are a mother who has an inner desire to enjoy motherhood and pregnancy better, but you are having difficulty figuring it out, I can help you. Thanks for joining. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward in your motherhood. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.